My name is Barton Morris. I'm a criminal defense attorney practicing here in the city of Royal Oak, and I practice all over the state of Michigan. I can be reached at michigancriminalattorney.com with any questions or any issues that you'd wish to discuss. Today, I'm going to be discussing the issue of youthful offenders, when young people get in trouble and put themselves in the criminal justice system. I say put themselves in the criminal justice system, that implies that they may have done something wrong, because not everybody has done something wrong. Sometimes people are not guilty. I suppose this particular video is targeted to those that have perhaps done something wrong and are looking for some answers of what happens in court. First, what I call youthful offenders are those under the age of 21 years old. Now, they could also be under the age of 24 years old. And what I mean by that is that there's a law in the state of Michigan called the YTA, Holmes Youthful Trainee Act. It identifies those that are under the age of 24 that perhaps may have gotten in trouble and find themselves in the court system. The difference between 21 and 24, it necessitates the prosecutor that's prosecuting the case, they have to agree to this Holmes Youthful Trainee status. And what is that status? That status means that an individual under the age of 24 or 21, if the prosecutor doesn't agree, then can be treated as a youthful offender by the judge, can identify them as a youthful offender, and therefore place them on probation and give them the opportunity to complete all of its conditions, and at the end of that probation have that case dismissed. That conviction will not only be removed from the record, actually never even goes on their record unless they violate probation, but it will make the case completely non-public. So anybody that's been adjudicated under the HYTA statute, they wouldn't, like, the public cannot even find out about that information. Unlike every other case is publicly available, but a YTA conviction is wiped from the public record. The conviction never enters, and is oftentimes one of the best ways to continue with a case and adjudicate a case without a criminal conviction. But there are dangers, the dangers associated with it. And so one of them is the fact that the offender will be on probation, and that individual will have to comply with all of the conditions of probation in order to ensure that they're going to be able to keep that conviction off the record. And so if a youthful offender, if a young person is not perhaps in the right mindset or doesn't fully understand the gravity of the scenario that they're in, because you could be talking about felony convictions that could hit their record and remain there for the rest of their life, that is something that they need to understand. And so it's important that their loved ones, their lawyers, everybody impress upon them the importance of being able to conform their actions to the law and to do everything necessary in order to get through probation, which includes drug and alcohol testing. That's generally one of the biggest issues that comes up, is that these youthful offenders, perhaps some of them have drug and alcohol problems. Quite frankly, most of them do. In my experience, most kids that are getting in trouble, they have experimented and perhaps even have some type of problem with drugs and alcohol, and those types of positive tests are things that can eliminate their ability to get YTA, which means, again, felonies, misdemeanors on their records that will affect their lives for the rest of their lives. And so then we have to talk about and make sure that there are other things in place, like substance abuse counseling and things that are necessary to ensure that they are maintaining abstinence from drugs and alcohol. Of course, they're going to have to engage themselves in the community, doing community service, reporting on a regular basis to a probation officer, and simply just staying out of trouble. When a youthful offender takes the responsibility necessary to make sure that they're staying out of trouble and doing everything necessary, then that's a great opportunity. So it is important to make sure that they're engaged, that they fully understand the gravity of the situation, because I can't tell you how many times I've seen somebody be like, yeah, I had YTA and then I lost it because I wasn't able to satisfy the terms of probation. It becomes a very sad circumstance. And what's even worse is, yes, that conviction may be addressed 5 years later under our state expungement law, but these are other things that a judge makes a determination of. They look and say, well, how was that individual's record while on probation? If they find out that it was terminated unsuccessfully and that created this conviction, that will go against their ability to be able to get it expunged later. So that's another thing. People think, well, maybe I can get it expunged in 5 years, but I can tell you that sometimes that doesn't happen. It's also very important to have the family involved. Parents need to be involved, show up to court. Unfortunately, we see that quite often where the kids think that they can handle it themselves and they go to court. They don't have their parents there. Well, judges, prosecutors, probation people, they see that, right? And that makes a big difference. And so it's important to have the family members involved. YTA is a great option. It's something that permits a lot of people to remove the one-time, two-time offenses, like isolated offenses from their record. It doesn't have to be just a first offense. Anybody can qualify if they're under the age of 24, between 21 and 24 with the prosecutor's consent. Under 21, even without the prosecutor's consent, you just got to be very influential with the judge. You got to get the judge to understand that this is something that the youthful offender deserves, and more importantly, that they're going to get through probation and be better individuals and contributors to society because of it. My name is Barton Morris. You can learn more at MichiganCriminalAttorney.com. You can contact my office or myself. You can email me at barton@bartonmorris.com. Thank you very much.